Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week wisdom and legacy building podcast. This is day 438 of our trek, and today is Philosophy Friday. Every Friday, we will ponder some of the basic truths and mysteries of life and how they can impact us in creating our living legacy. Currently, each Friday, we are in a multi-week trek as we explore the teachings of some of my virtual mentors such as Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, and Earl Nightingale. The core of the current trek is based primarily on Jim Rohn's book called The 5 Major Pieces to the Life Puzzle. I have learned a considerable amount from reading and rereading this book on my own trek of life, and I trust that you will benefit from it also. Keeping with the continuity of Wisdom Trek, I will be adapting it to The 5 Trails on Life's Trek. We are broadcasting from our studios at Home 2 in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tuesday evening of this week, we had my sister Rebecca over for dinner and to continue our trek through our old family pictures. The box that we are now working on were from my parents when they were in their early 20s. My dad was in the Navy around Japan, and my mom and their first of 10 children, Christina, were living with Granny and Gramps, who were my dad's parents. Some of the notes between my mom and dad on the back of the pictures were great to read, and it gave us a better understanding of their life as a young married couple. The trails that they forged were part of the extended trail that we are now continuing on today. Speaking of that, on our trek for today, we will continue on the first of 5 trails on Life's Trek, which is the Philosophy Trail. Specifically, we want to continue our exploration on how to develop a powerful personal philosophy. If you missed any of the past few Philosophy Friday treks, it would be good to go back and review them to get caught up on our progress so far. We have a lot of ground to cover today, so let's break camp and continue on the first trail of this extended trek as we cover the 5 trails on Life's Trek, Philosophy Part 4. As a reminder of our overall extended trek, we will cover these 5 trails: philosophy, attitude, activity, results, and lifestyle. Last week on our hike, we discovered how to learn from other people's failures and success, as well as capitalizing on the power of positive influences in our lives. We will continue on the same trail today by learning how to become a good observer and a good listener. So let's take a look on how to become a good observer. You must never allow a day to pass without finding some answers to the list of important questions such as, what is going on in your field of vocation? What new challenges are currently facing your government, your community, your neighborhood? What are the new breakthroughs and the new opportunities, the new tools and techniques that have recently come to light? What are the new personalities that are influencing your world and your local opinion? You must be a good observer and an astute evaluator of all that is going on around you. All the events do affect you, and what affects you leaves an imprint on what you will be one day and how you will one day live. One of the major reasons why people are not doing well is because they keep trying to get through the day the same way they do every day. A more worthy challenge is try to obtain as much insight as possible from each day. You must become sensitive enough to observe and ponder what is happening around you. Be alert. Be awake. Let life and all its subtle messages touch you. Often the most extraordinary opportunities are hidden among the most seemingly insignificant events of life. If you do not pay attention to these events, you can easily miss the most important opportunities. To take advantage of every opportunity for success, you must constantly be observing the situations around you. King Solomon wrote about some of his observations during the latter years of his life in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 11. And he said, I have observed everything under the sun. The fastest runner doesn't always win the race. The strongest warrior doesn't always win the battle. The wise sometimes go hungry, and the skillful are not necessarily wealthy. And those who are educated don't always lead successful lives. It is all decided by chance, by being in the right place at the right time. While I understand that Solomon was the wisest person to ever live, I also know that you can greatly influence your chance of success through the astute power of observation. Next on our trail, we need to become a good listener. It is challenging today to be a good listener. There are so many voices that cry out for our attention, each with its own special message and each with its own special appeal. One of the best ways to deal with this important challenge is to develop the skill of selective listening. You know, the type that your children have when they are growing up, and many people maintain through adulthood. We have all sorts of devices and opportunities shouting in our minds. We need to learn the fine art of listening only to what is most important. I realize with the streaming music, podcast, and video feeds of today, it is a bit different, but follow along in this example to grasp the concept that I want to get across today. Selective listening is like tuning of a radio or channel surfing on TV to find a station that most appeals to you. As you advance through the channels, you listen or watch for a few seconds, and then you either keep searching or you stop at a particular station depending on what you have just heard or seen. It is the same way with many aspects of life. When a voice calls out for your attention, you must pause for a few moments to ponder the message. If the message is shallow or ignorant and does not advance you toward your primary purpose in life, then you must discipline yourself to move on. You must touch the scan switch and move on to the next voice so that the ignorant and shallow messages do not affect you. Everything that you hear or see is being recorded in your mental computers and forming a new connection in your brain. You might listen to some of the voices for a time out of curiosity, but if that voice is not leading you toward the achievement of your goals, then you must exercise great caution on how long that you'll listen to them. Only when you have found a source of valuable information should you allow the message to touch you so that it might add value to your lives, to what you already are or are becoming. We are all leaders in some aspects of life, and one of the greatest attributes of leadership is effective communication. Learning what to say and when to say it comes only when you've learned how to listen. The art of listening is an opportunity to add to your knowledge and to increase your value. The process of speaking, on the other hand, is the act of putting on display what you have learned. And we've come to understand the more that you learn, the less you need to say in order to teach others. You must first master the art of listening before your spoken words will have any great value on others. Jesus taught us this in Mark chapter 4, verses 23 through 25. Anyone with ears to hear should listen and understand. Then he added, pay close attention to what you hear. The closer you listen, the more understanding you will be given, and you will receive even more. To those who listen to my teaching, more understanding will be given. But for those who are not listening, even the little understanding that you have will be taken away from them. To follow up on that, here is a practical example for your life that can be applied to many areas. The best way to learn what to say to your children or grandchildren is to listen to them. You should read the books that they are reading, listen to their songs, watch the videos that they are watching, and become familiar with the messages that they are receiving from a variety of sources. Listening to the information that is reaching your children or grandchildren will not only increase your awareness of their decision-making process, but will also help you to talk more effectively with your children and grandchildren about what is truly valuable. We are deliberately taking this trek slowly as we ponder on how to develop a powerful personal philosophy on our continued hike up the trail of philosophy today. This is not an easy hike to make. It requires absorbing new information that may be challenging your current philosophy. It will require you becoming a good observer and a good listener. Next week on Philosophy Friday, we will explore how to gain insight from what you read and what you write, and much more in our pursuit of a powerful personal philosophy. So make sure you join us for the continuation of our trek on the trail of philosophy next Friday. I do know that you'll find these insights interesting and profitable in living the rich and satisfying life that we all desire. Our next trek will be Motivation Monday, where we will explore more trails on how to get and stay motivated to bring value into your world. So encourage your family and friends to join us, and then come along with us on Monday for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. That will finish our trek for today. Just as you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing it with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person when you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us on our trek each day. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks, they are available at wisdom-trek.com. And don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Trek so that each day will be downloaded to you automatically. And I would also appreciate it if you'd rate and review us on iTunes or Google Play so that others will find out about us and join us on our Wisdom Trek each day. The journal for today's trek is available at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you on Monday.